Welcome to the Main Stage Cast, a podcast about all things competitive Call of Duty and the Call of Duty League, hosted by me, Nate Burleson, alongside Alex Friel. Now, we have a few things to talk about today. League play just dropped. The team camos came out over the weekend. We got challenges, elite qualifiers that just happened. We got the stage one. We got the week one of the stage one of the first stage of the first second. See, I don't know. There's too many stages, too many things to talk about here. First thing I want to say though, happy birthday to Lottie, the desk host of the CDL. Huge shout out to her. 26 years old. Big things. But Alex, we gotta talk, man. League play just dropped. 5 minutes late. As of this recording, about 5 minutes ago, dropped.
Initial reaction to League play right now is that they have the preset classes, but you can make your own. And there's still AKs, lasers, 1911s, overkill, snipers, smokes. Like, come on,
everything,
man.
everything that should belong in a competitive game, right?
Yeah. So we'll deal with that later today. I mean, I know we're gonna get on and play, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Because my expectations are that we're gonna be in the low ranks. We're gonna get those pub kids. We're gonna try to League play thinking they're hot shit. And they're going to be using a bullfrog and get
That's
shit
what I'm
on,
saying.
So I think it should. What modes or maps are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to running some Express S&D and some Raid S&D and some Raid Hardpoint. It's going to bring me. It should be, right? If it's not, then I'm wrong. But if it'll be in there at some point. But I just want to run the old Black Ops 2 maps because that's what got me into competitive COD.
Have you played Express?
I have, yeah. I was running it, and we were running 3v3 S&Ds the other day.
Dude, oh my god! If you have an SMG, you literally get from like one point of the map to the other side in like 2 seconds with the speed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of iffy on how Express is gonna play. I just don't think like I think Raid plays okay because of that, but like Express is like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of iffy on it, but I'm really looking forward to Garrison Control. I'm trying to be like Simp, get that Yahoo clip, spawn trap some kids. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that because I've been playing pubs for too long where I'm getting killed with LMGs and tac right in a hard point match. I'm really looking forward to not dying to those in a hard point or control.
No, I mean, I've been playing like only hard point really when I play pubs. So I'm excited to play some real hardpoint, some real 4v4. Got your team rotating, holding down spawns, things like that. That's what I want to do when I play hardpoint. I want to get a buck 80 in the hill and have it feel nice. That's what I want.
I think that the game will just play better when it's 4v4. A lot of these maps feel like very cluttered 6v6, like Crossroads. When you got Step, it's like very different from having 8 people on the map. So I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, me too. I think we're gonna have a ton of fun. I mean, we'll see how everything kind of plays out with the GAs to kind of maybe update the rule set by the end of the week to see exactly what the CDL players are playing on. Because I don't want to have that mystery of the GA. Like, because you have your competitive players who are just kind of playing for the fun of it and the competitiveness, and they're just trying to play league play, have some fun. They don't really know what they get to use. But then you have the CDL pros playing for millions of dollars. But like, should they be playing on the same rule set that we're playing on? Should we be playing on like a different rule set? Like, it's confusing when everybody's playing on different rule sets. You don't really know what you're supposed to be doing. You're not sure what guns you should be using. I don't know. It's very odd. We gotta look forward to the bright side of things though, and we have a lot of CDL matches this weekend. We got what? Is it 6 or 8 in total? How many is it in total? Or no, I got it right here.
2 Thursday, 2 Friday, 3 Saturday, 3 Sunday.
10.
That's
wow.
10 matches.
10 matches. I'll take that.
That's a lot of
I'll
COD.
take that.
I'm excited. I'm very excited for this weekend.
No, me too. I'm excited for this weekend. But one thing we got to note before we start to get into some predictions and stuff. They're going to be looking fly. They're going to have those new team camos on. What do you think about those team camos? I haven't played much in the past few days. I haven't seen them in the server, but I know you have takes.
Yeah, so, I mean, this past week has just been, it was all kind of like leading up. Everything that's been going on is like leading up to like this big like first Atlanta home series. So like this past week they've started unveiling like all the team kits, all like the team merch, and like actually I kind of like the Rocker. I thought had really cool merch and jerseys. Florida did a good job with their jerseys and merch. I think and we still haven't even seen all of them. I think we still have yet to see like New York, Dallas, or Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
yet. So still a few more on the way. But
Yeah.
the CDL team packs, people are complaining. Oh, the camo. Don't buy it if you
The
don't like it.
camels, yeah.
Why complain about something
I
you bought?
I would have liked some more out of
Whatever.
those,
But
but yeah.
yeah, I bought the optic operator because I'm an optic fanboy, fan gay, whatever you want to say. So I bought that, and I'm really happy with my purchase. I think I look super cool,
Mm-hmm.
But as I've been playing pubs, I've been making observations about different people using different skins, and so I'm gonna go into my mental notes now. So Florida, they use tac rifles and
Mm-hmm.
shotguns. It's just mind blowing when I get one boosted by an M16.
They
What is this kid
do they use
wearing? And
dual
he's wearing a
magnums
Florida
too?
outfit. Oh
Okay,
no,
good,
no,
good, good, good,
they're
good.
not that bad.
Yeah.
That's still like regular
Mm-hmm.
operators. Although I did get pieced on checkmate hardpoint yesterday. I went into the plain hill. This dude runs in, literally just one
It's
shot. And
ridiculous.
I was
It's
like, that's
it might
ridiculous.
be one of
So
the most like just broken guns. Like when you get killed by it, you don't feel like you even got shot at. You don't even feel like you got looked at when you
yeah,
get killed by those dual
didn't even have the
magnums.
chance.
They're
But
ridiculous.
Dallas Empire skins. They've been, they don't even use 74 U's. They're using like any other SMG. They've been using
Running
silenced
those
bullfrogs, like
bullfrogs. Yep.
KSPs with like 8 attachments
Mm-hmm.
on it. Like
MP5s.
they'll run literally anything besides a 74 U. But it's from my experience, it's only been subs. All
Mm-hmm.
right, and then Phase Optic. Like they've been like pretty chill, just using M4s, Krigs, 74 U's, like the regular stuff. I saw a few LAG skins and they
Ooh.
were all using LMGs. Like it's just
Is what
like
it is.
ridiculous. Like
I might have to buy a skin. I think I get paid next Friday. I get paid this Friday actually. I might end up buying a skin. If I go for a skin, I might go for the team that impresses me the most this weekend. That might be the skin I buy. The team that impresses me the most this weekend.
so you haven't decided your team
I
yet
haven't
still?
decided my team. The people have been asking me like, "Yo, who do you rep? Who do you rep in the CDL?" I'm like, I'm a podcast host. I gotta stay a little neutral, right? But at the same time, I'm loving the Rocker. I'm loving Paris. I'm loving LAG. I'm loving Optic, and I've never really been the biggest Optic guy either. But I would stand behind them this year. Maybe it's that Chicago. Maybe it's that like added element. That's
Yeah.
what I
Or is
kind
it,
of needed.
I think it took a little bit to grow on me. Obviously we went through years of it not being franchised, because we have had like Team Canada's in the games before, but it was just like the orgs. Like, but I think now that we've been through like the first year of franchising and we know the
Mm-hmm.
potential of what it could be, I think that it's actually pretty cool now thinking, because especially like, Chicago Huntsman was like super, it was super cool
Right.
just to have like Hex and all of them representing Chicago, but like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that like the Optic brand is now like Chicago's team, I just think that's like the
Mm-hmm.
coolest thing.
No, and yeah, like
And I think it's
yeah,
super
that's
cool
what like
that they all get to rep
I
cities.
really do tie like Optic to Chicago too, because of the team house out in the
Stuff that,
suburbs back.
yeah.
Because that's when I first kind
So,
of started watching. They were making all the content out of that house.
yeah, Nate Shots vlogs, all of them moved in.
Mm-hmm.
Maniac making like, they were doing like a smash or pass challenge, like all that OG stuff, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I remember who was it who like jumped off the balcony onto the pillows and shit. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you
My God,
remember
is
that?
that Flame Sword?
Or Bose? I don't know. I can't remember.
No, definitely not those. Oh my God. Dude, I feel like that was Flame
It
Sword.
might
That's
have
so
been. That was
dangerous.
funny though. Do you remember?
That's actually
I mean,
so
you're
dangerous.
sitting here, you're laying here right now for the podcast. What happened to you, Alex? Why are you laying
So,
down today?
I'm laying in bed today. I was trying to slide cancel in my driveway while walking my dogs the other day. I slipped on some ice and I broke my leg. So
Mm-hmm.
this is my current situation. Don't try to. I didn't have auto tax for now. All right.
Mm.
So like when I came out of the slide cancel animation, it wasn't like so smooth,
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't go straight back into the sprint. So when you're walking your dogs, make sure to put ATS on. Make sure to play on
Mm-hmm.
not tactical. You got to have like the bumper in the back or you got to have a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be smart about where you're slide
Yeah.
canceling. Make sure it's safe.
Stellium was lying to you, man. He said you could do it too,
Yeah,
but it's tough. It's tough. You think
you
Stellium's? I
can't.
don't think Stellium could pull it off though. Stellium's not living in the frozen tundra that is Chicagoland right now, so I don't think he
Oh
understands.
God, yeah. Dude, it's like literally snowing. It's been snowing for like the past like week.
Yeah,
It feels like.
yeah. It's pretty much still snowing. Like
Well, hey, bad weather, but at least we got a lot of COD
we
this week.
got
Gonna look
we
forward
got a ton of COD. You don't even have to go
got
outside this
league
weekend.
play. Yeah, you don't need the outdoors.
No,
You got
of
league play.
course
You got the
not.
Atlanta home series.
Yeah,
What more can you
I
ask
have to
for?
like go home this weekend to like to the suburbs to my parents' house. I'm like debating like should I just bring my PC just so I can grind out league play?
You got to, man.
I don't know. I gotta take care of
Hey,
the dogs.
as soon as those matches are, you know what, dogs, they just need to be taken out every once
Hey,
in a while. You know, it's not that hard, all right? They can wait a little bit if you're in the middle of a hard point. You know, you tell them, hey, come on,
hey,
you know, or like we're in round
hey.
11. You gotta, I'm not feeding you
It's gonna be
yet.
me, my two dogs, and my sister. We have a squad. That's four.
Yeah,
Run it up.
but run it up, baby, run it up. So yeah, I mean, we got an exciting weekend, but this past weekend we had the Elite Series qualifiers,
Mm-hmm.
which actually like so. Shout out I Hold Shift's community stream
Mm-hmm.
because the production quality was way better. They were showing like multiple matches at the
Yep.
same time.
It was huge.
What they were doing was just so cool, and props to them for helping out the scene and making sure that we all see that. But did you catch a lot of it? What did you
Uh,
think? What do
I think,
you saw the
yeah.
teams that made
I
it?
didn't catch as much as I'd like to. The biggest thing that I took away from it was seeing what the team of Team Zed, Dens, Jerd, and
Yeah, he played
who they
great.
pick
He
up?
played
Who they
really
pick up to
good.
replace Gunjar again when he left? Zed, Dens, Jerd, and
I'm totally
oh
blanking
man,
right
me too. Like I feel bad that I'm blinking, but like at the same
now.
time, like no matter what, like that team they were placing top 32. They
Yeah,
had
they
a
played
top
good.
64 placing in one of the Challengers Cups. They looked amazing and they came back and they qualified. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, there is a few teams that is just like, it's not a surprise. You got your Wester, I think, built by gamers, right? And they
Mhm.
qualify. They were dude, they were clutching up, all right?
Mhm.
That was one of my I forget who they were playing this team called like Higher or something, right? And it was Raid S&D and they were down like 5-2. And I literally texted you. I'm like, what if Built by Gamers like makes this comeback? And they literally did. Like they just started frying.
mhm.
Like they were in like a 4v2 round 11 and like like I think it was like Kismet and like God or X or someone. They just clutched up. They looked really good. NYSL Academy. Of course they were gonna make it. They've been just playing really well. So I think that the Elite Series should be like really
Oh yeah.
entertaining because it's literally just like the top of the
Mhm.
top talent from
You
the
know what?
challengers, and it's gonna be so
Mhm.
much
It
fun.
also means something. Like now we were talking a little bit about how they're spreading out these league matches this year from like Thursday to Sunday. Now we have
Yeah,
challengers elite on like what Tuesdays and Wednesdays, something like that. You got caught
yeah,
all week. You got caught
yeah.
all
You
week.
literally get one day
You could,
off.
yeah.
Maybe one day you just grind league play.
Mhm.
You're like, I don't got
It was
kind of watch.
beautiful.
You know,
And another note,
but
shout out to Zed. He did get engaged last night, which is
shout
absolutely
out to
huge.
Zed. Hey,
Qualify for the
congrats, man.
Challengers Elite, get engaged. That's a good weekend. Shout out to Zed. And like the Challengers Elite qualifier, like we were talking about, like the production value is really what stood out to me. It just shows like how far like the community is going to really support tier two because that's what we need. Like the other the other Activision Blizzard esport Overwatch, they when they created the Overwatch League, they let their tier two scene die essentially by not giving it
Yeah,
any
I mean,
attention,
and
just kind of
and I
letting
feel
it
like that's
fall.
what really kills a game.
Mm-hmm.
And before we knew about the Elite Series, I was really worried for the Challenger scene because I'm like, this is essentially just a 2K,
Yeah.
right? Like first place literally was just getting 2K. Like it was literally like another 2K like back in Call of Duty Ghost, but now they've given much more meaning to
Right.
these matches, and I think it's a lot like
A lot more
these players
structure.
now are gonna be realizing like, hey, like this is it, like this is like the real chance. We had the challengers, but this is like the Elite Series. Like
Mm-hmm.
we got to go our hardest. The eight best top AM teams. Arguably like just like semi-pro teams. I don't even think it's fair to call them AMs at this point. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Wester, NYSL, built by gamers. That Zed Dens team. Like those guys were on the league.
They're all
Same with Jared.
legends.
He was.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Jared because he did a follow five back in the day and he follows
And he
me.
still
All right,
does.
that's why we
That's love.
stand, bro. Right? Formal did a follow five. He followed our boy Mariano and he unfollowed him. How
He
scummy
saw
is
too
that?
many of
We
Mars
love.
tweets,
Hey,
man. He didn't want those
we're
basketball.
still horny. We're still horny for Formy,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Oh my
Is what
god.
it is.
Yeah, he didn't like Mars timeline, but
They'll do the follow five, but then once they start noticing like random tweets on their timeline, they're like, maybe
yeah.
I should unfollow him. They want that
Instead of a mute, they're like, I gotta have my ratio
right. They
down.
gotta. Hey, you're in the league. You're repping big brands. You gotta have a ratio, right? You gotta have that good followers to following. I don't have that. I follow like 200 people. I'm followed by like 50. It is what it is. but I'm not the biggest social media guru. But
Yeah,
I some of these teams are though. Have you noticed like how funny some of these team like social media managers are? Like London, they always crack me up.
dude.
The
Yeah, their replies are
Minnesota,
just so funny, dude.
they all crack me up. Like they all have like great sense of humor. Like it's
Yeah,
something that the CDL I think is doing really well. Is like these
I
organizations
think
don't really feel like huge. That's what they're trying to mask is that they're these like big money, like there's big money behind them, and it's very corporate. But at the same time, like they do have like a good approach to fandom.
yeah, and I think that like just social media is just the best way to engage with fans and stay
Hmm.
relevant. And those guys they all need a raise. Shout out the E United social media guy.
Yeah.
That guy's always been really good. Optic, they always tweet the best clips on. Scump was even talking about it. He said, "I told Hector, let me get a chance, let me get a day at least to try to post my own clips." Optic, they're already on that, dude. Doesn't even matter. They're like yoink, they take the clip, they post it, get that engagement on Twitter.
Hmm.
So, but this upcoming weekend, Atlanta FaZe home series, baby. What
Yes.
what what you feeling? What you
I'm
feeling?
feeling a lot. I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm like nervous. Is it bad? I'm nervous for this.
Hey,
I'm a little
before
bit.
we break down all the matches, what is your match of the weekend?
Oh, I mean, like the match I'm most excited for. I'm pretty sure is the match like any COD fan is the most excited for, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's that
uh,
Atlanta FaZe
Optic
versus
Phase, baby.
Chicago. Like Optic FaZe.
Never thought we'd really see that again. That
Mm-hmm.
Scump Optic versus actual Phase,
Yeah.
but like here we are getting that. The
Mm-hmm.
first weekend too. It took so long to see like a Optic, dude. It
Right.
literally wasn't for like 3 months. We didn't see that last
Mm-hmm.
year, and we're already getting it first weekend. So already, I feel like this format is just way better from a viewership standpoint
Mm-hmm.
because it's just more COD. We get to see more matches. All the
Yeah.
teams play each other, so this should just be. This should. I mean, a lot of the matches this weekend look really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm personally also really excited for the first one, which is the Minnesota LA
Me
Thieves
too.
match, because I feel like those are teams we're like really on the fence about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, are they like in that A tier or are they not? So I think like they're gonna have to kind of play for
Yeah.
like the or better.
In Minnesota, I mean, they're getting thrown through the to the wolves this weekend. You got it. They open up against LA Thieves. They're off Friday. They're off Saturday. On Sunday, 3:30 Central Time, they're playing against Dallas Empire. So like, you could start 0-2 as Minnesota this weekend, which nobody wants. Nobody wants to start 0-2 no matter who they
Yeah.
play, right? But those two games are gonna be huge for Minnesota. So I mean, we can just jump right in and kind of start discussing this Minnesota versus LA Thieves match. Both of these teams I think have something to prove. Like we've said, like we mentioned, and like how we said in our tier list last week. Both of these teams are kind of like in that middle A to B, just off of the elite teams, just like but above the rest. Like they're the teams that are really gonna have to like compete against each other and kind of eat each other alive in the standings.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna I'm gonna just go ahead with my prediction because
Mm-hmm.
I did go through and like pick all, I did like the pick 'em, and I think that Rocker's gonna take it 3-2. I
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay,
don't know.
that's
I just
fair. I
think
like
I
that.
just think I think the X factor. I think that they didn't look good in the hard points at the kickoff class,
I
but
did rewatch the first
fans
map though, and I
fans
thought they
like
looked a lot
decided to
better.
just go
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that's what really killed them, and I don't really see a player like that on the Thieves going off. Like I don't know if it was just because recency bias. We've only seen them get smoked by Optic.
Mm-hmm.
Like they all had point sevens. Like they just did not look
Yeah.
good. But I think that in the search, I think Major Maniac, the
Mm.
oldest competitor in the league. I think he really gives them that like edge. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that he's just a smart player, and like if they and also what I really like about this Minnesota team is they're all like guys that like they've all like won before, and it seems like they're guys that like if they go down like they're not gonna like get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got like Priest attach, Major Maniac, like Lamar. Like I feel like these are guys who are like really gonna like they're not gonna lose full or lose composure. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
like keep their heads up, keep playing strong. Like they know what they can do, and they're just gonna play their game. And I think they're gonna end up pulling it out.
I like that. No, I really like that prediction. I'm gonna actually agree with you on this prediction. I think Minnesota pulls this out in a 3-2, and here's why. I think I think they take the first hard point. I think that's going to be absolutely massive. I also think they take the search. So I think they go up 2-0 in this series, and LA Thieves push them back. I think LA Thieves win the second or win the control, and I think they win the next hard point. I think they'll kind of, they might get rocked a little bit on the first one. I think it's gonna be dead close. Like I do not know how to predict this series. Like no matter what, I think it's gonna go to a game 5 or at least a very competitive game 4. But I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to like bet. It's hard to bet against either of these teams. I'm just high on the Rocker this year. That's really what it is. I'm really just high on the Rocker. I think they're gonna come out and surprise people, and I'm a little bit lower on LA Thieves. So I do think we'll figure things out over the season. But I mean, they could just prove everybody wrong immediately and just shock everybody. 3-0 Rocker. You never know. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I'm really really excited though to watch LA play this weekend. Like obviously, like we all want to see Chicago and FaZe play, but I want to see LA play. I want to see Minnesota play. I want to see Florida play. I want to see how they all play against each other because we already know that Optic and Dallas and FaZe are all in Florida. We already know they're amazing teams. We just have questions about the other teams. That's what we really want. That's what I want answered out of this first weekend is to see like maybe have a clearer picture of like the hierarchy of the league.
So who do you think's your man of the match from this
My
one?
man of the match is going to be accuracy because one of the things that one of the
Lamar,
problems, one of the
let's
struggles that happened on
go.
that checkmate hardpoint in their opening weekend series was like accuracy kind of not figuring out the right angles to play, not being able to kind of help and protect his subs on checkmate when you're running through these open areas. I don't really know what the map vetoes are going to look like. That's kind of hard to predict right now. But I mean, Lamar is probably going to have to play really, really well. And if he does, I mean, you saw that video, right? You saw the video of the LA Thieves. They were all saying, I mean, they're all friends with Lamar, right? Like it's just funny, right?
They would all take
Yeah,
him
but
in
they
a
said
one
they
v
would all take him
one.
in a 1v1. They're all friends. It's friendly, it's friendly
You know what?
banter, but at the
And
same time,
and also
let's see
you
it.
got to consider that Lamar Beatty and Austin Litticoat are
Right.
roommates, right? So it's
Bragging
like a
rights.
roommate
Yeah.
match. So
Loser has to
they're
take
gonna
out the
have to
trash.
go home. They're gonna have to go home at the end of the day and see each other, and one of them is gonna have one, and one of them
Yep.
is not gonna have one.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a lot to play for because imagine like LA Thieves wins or like vice like Minnesota wins, like the other person's never gonna
Hmm.
hear the end of
Until
that.
they
They're just
play
gonna
again, right? Yeah.
find every time they see each other, they're gonna be like, hey, like we smoked you.
Yeah, I say they should make some friendly rules. Like loser has to clean the bathroom, take out the trash. Why not?
All
Make it a
right,
little fun. But yeah, let's look at
all
this
right. Three,
this
three,
next
two,
match.
3-2, Minnesota.
Hmm. This next match though, I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a
Yep,
3-2, right?
it's not gonna be
Dallas
competitive.
Empire versus the Seattle Surge at 3:30 Central Time on Thursday. Dallas is gonna be. They're gonna be amazing. Can Surge even put up a fight here? What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, I think that they really looked like they were. I mean, it did go to Game 5 against
Hmm.
LAG, but it really looked like they were struggling, and it looked like Gunless was their best player. And I think that if Octane doesn't look like your best player, you don't really stand a chance.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think I think that Pristini needs to step it up as a Slayer, but this match, I don't think they should go into it with a lot of like, if they end up getting 3-0, like I don't think that they should think much of it. I think they should
Agreed.
just go in and try their best. But like, you got XEO on the other team, like you're not gonna beat those guys. And you got Krim, the
Man
best
are
man
in
in
the
RM.
league.
What he dropped like 9K damage or
Hmm.
whatever on Neptune. Like, come on, man,
He's gonna be
he's
angry,
going
man.
crazy.
I wish we
Yeah.
got Dallas, Florida this weekend. That would have been asking for. I mean, I wait. They can't even. I
Oh,
wish we were
yeah,
to.
they're in
I know,
different
but like I'm
groups. Yeah.
saying, like it looked like they were. It looked like at first that Florida might have been in Dallas's group. Like obviously Hex ended up putting Rocker in their group, but like we could have seen that. Could you imagine the story? Imagine the storyline if that would be the opening, or that's one of the matches on Sunday. It's kind of like
You
be
know,
a crazy like four. That'd be a crazy two matches on
yeah.
Sunday.
I don't even think it's close to be honest. I think regardless of like the maps they play on, like I just think Dallas will just outgun them. You
Hmm.
got like the AR battle of like Crim Six and Octane, but like you're also like who's gonna contest Illy?
Illy and Shotzi
Like
and
is it
Nuke.
gonna be
Yeah, right.
Gunless? Like it's just like at this point in time, I don't think we've seen enough. Like we've seen enough of Empire
Right.
to like know what they've got, right?
Hmm.
But I don't think we've seen enough from Surge. And anytime I see them in a scrim, like it's usually one of those like VODs that gets posted on YouTube where it's like
Hmm.
Optic trolling in a scrim, like and they're literally just like goofing off while shitting on Seattle.
Hmm.
So like, I don't think it's really gonna be too competitive.
Yeah, no, me neither. I think both of us probably have this as a 3-0, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I have this as a 3-0. I don't see this going anywhere closer than a 3-0. Maybe they push them a little bit on some map. I just don't know. Like, yeah, well, I'll be really surprised if Seattle puts up a huge fight against them. But I think we will end up disagreeing a little bit with the next matches, which is the Friday matches, 2 o'clock and 3:30. Right? We got Chicago Optic Chicago versus the Paris Legion, and then we have the Atlanta FaZe versus LAG. Now, the reason why I say we're going to disagree a little bit, I think we're only going to disagree on map count because I think Paris takes Chicago to Game 5. Paris takes Chicago to Game 5. I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it right now. Just wait for it. I'm not saying they're gonna win the Game 5. I'm just saying they're gonna take them to the Game 5. Why not? I everyone will be shocked. Everyone will be shocked. Everyone's gonna be talking about it. There's gonna be 90K, 100K viewers of this match. Everyone's gonna be wanting to see what's happening with Chicago Optic, right? Optic Chicago. That's what everyone wants to see. Boom, Fire 40 making plays. I'm talking about Aqua making plays. Like, look at that. I mean, why not? That's what I'm excited for. I want to see that, and I'm gonna stick by it.
So
Game 5.
I think that Paris looked really good against London in that kickoff classic. I think that Aqua played very well, like classic, and the S&D played super well. Fire was kind of frying, Scraps was like picking up what he needed to. And I think that they're a great team, and I honestly believe that they're like a top 6 team. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think that they could like win some matches. I think they'll keep it close, but I'm going 3-0 Optic. I just don't really see Optic losing a map to
Fair.
these guys. And I think I'm being kind of generous by saying I think Paris is going to keep it close. I think Optic may just fry them. Like if you think about like the
Mm-hmm.
matchups, like you have like a Aqua versus Formal, but then it's like do you have like Dashi versus Fire, like Envoy and Scump and like Classic and Scraps? Like I think if you just look at it from like a like a matchup standpoint, like
Yeah.
Paris just seems
Oh no,
so
like
weak compared to
the
Optic, and Optic's like teamwork is
I
just on
they'll
point.
have to pull out some cheese. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Like some
Yeah.
cheese is gonna have to like happen. Like I don't think they win 2 maps by like their own merit and skill. Like something's gonna go. Like I think they're gonna maybe push them on. I think they actually can like push them on S&D just because I feel like teams really do
I
equal
agree.
out on S&D. Like
Yeah.
some teams are like it's way easier to predict hard points and controls and CTFs than it ever is to like predict S&D.
I mean, it's like if Aqua, he's posted up with an AR and gets like the first pick on
Yeah.
like Dash or Formal, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
in a hard point, it's like, all right, Formal dies, Dash dies, like
Yeah,
he's
and
coming back
I'm
in. Or
interested to
like an
see
S&D,
though.
it's
Like,
like, all right, shit, now it's a 4v3.
mhm.
Like, I think that Paris will keep, I think the S&D will be the most
Right.
close.
I'll probably eat my words on this. Like, I'll probably end up being wrong, but I do think that like Paris could push them on one of the respawns maybe. I don't know. Like, that's the thing is like 2 maps. I'm thinking like it's probably a little bit dramatic because I don't how do they win a respawn? Like, how do they win a respawn? That's what it's gonna come down to. But you see it here. On guard, Paris Legion, Paris Legion, right here, map 5. Just wait for
Let's
it.
go.
Next, the next match though we're gonna be talking about FaZe versus LAG. It's kind of similar, right? It's kind of similar because it's like
3-0, 3-0 sweep. I got I
3-0.
got 3-0. I got my pick'em predictions pulled up right here.
Oh,
So I did this like 2 days ago or yesterday, I forgot. But I'm gonna just go with what I initially thought. I never second guess myself.
mm-hmm.
I got 3-0 phase. I really like LAG, but I just don't know that they really compare to phase. Like, I mean, and I think phase is really good, and obviously like the Dallas Empire and like phase and Optic all look really good against like the lesser teams because we saw like the Yahoo clip of like Simp just like spawn killing New York, and I think LAG is definitely better than New York right now. But it may be like close, but I still think I just don't really see phase like drop. Maybe if they dropped a map, it would be S&D.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where like Papathy may step up. If they get Garrison, I'm gonna get nervous. I'm gonna start
Ooh,
thinking LG
you
might
will
win
get a
right
little
here. You
nervous
know what I'm
about
saying?
Garrison. Okay.
I want Papathy in the vent, dude. It's
Mm-hmm.
dangerous. You know?
Yeah. I think FaZe is gonna be just like, all right, yeah, sure, we lost to Florida on the, yeah, sure, everybody, those 2 weirdos on the main stage cast put us a tier below at S tier, yeah, sure, we'll prove them wrong. 3-0, they're gonna 3-0 LAG straight up.
Yep.
Boom. I think what's FaZe like? It's kind of similar to the Chicago Paris thing. And I'm actually gonna walk back Paris to one map instead of two. I'll walk that back a little bit because I know I'm gonna be wrong anyways. But like I think FaZe 3-0's LAG pretty comfortably because I think they'll just easily control the hard point. I think they'll outslay them easily. I think they'll outmaneuver them no matter what map it is. Well, that's another thing is like I'm very interested to see like because when we watch scrims, right, they just play every map, so we don't really know
Yeah.
which one they would actually prefer or pick in a best of five. So one of the biggest things I'm looking at this weekend is like what maps are the teams gonna pick? Where do they feel comfortable? Like where are these teams gonna where are these teams gonna make theirs? What are they going to make their bread and butter map? Like, is it going to be like Chicago Optic on or Optic Chicago on like I don't know, like let's say they dominate Garrison Hardpoint, just throwing out a map there. Like nobody ever wants to play them on Garrison Hardpoint, or like nobody ever wants to play the Rocker on Checkmate S&D, something like that. I'm interested to see like what could pop up there. Do you think any teams like right now, before we get into the next predictions for Saturday, do you think any teams right now like would own a specific map and mode?
Well, so FaZe, interestingly enough, they're always like just being goofy and whatnot. And I saw the other day that, you know, all right, Reddit started to freak out. We're like, are they gonna GA the
Yeah,
XM4?
yeah.
Because FaZe pulled out 4 XM4s on Checkmate or something, and we're just like frying. And I think like because like last year we saw times where like Simp pulled out an M4 and like
Yeah.
I mean he can really do it all. Like even in BO4, like if he picked up like a Maddox or like an ICR off the
Mm-hmm.
ground, like he's still like I feel like that's just one of those guys. Like a sub fits his play style, but like if he has to switch to like an AR or anything else, he really can. And I think like I don't know. I think that any kind of long range map because I think Cell's a really good AR. I
Yeah.
think Arcides is really good. So I think like like the checkmates. Like I think that's kind of Moscow if they have to play that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like really goes in the favor of FaZe.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
They're so versatile.
Mm-hmm. No, I really like that. I like the idea of like I feel like FaZe will own like a hard point. I also think like maybe Empire owns like raid hard point, right? Like I don't know. I just feel like the way they move around the map together and the way they play is so like sound fundamentally, but also can turn out like crazy plays at any time means that a map like raid like fits them pretty well because you have to
Yeah.
rotate on raid or else you will get punished. So it's like I think Empire plays some of the most like fundamentally sound COD, and I think that Raid is going to benefit them a lot there. But let's get into these Saturday matches because two teams we just talked about are going to have to play against each other. LAG is going to play Paris in the first match on Saturday. What are your initial thoughts?
So I got a 3-2 map count. I
Okay.
think that these teams are pretty evenly matched. But I do think that I think they're both like going to be good S&D teams, and I think that it's probably going to be the closest series of the weekend. But I think in the end, like Paris is just going to pull it out. I just see Mickey D kind of clutching again
Mm-hmm.
in the S&D, and I think Aqua's going to play really well. Assault had a good kickoff classic, but so yeah,
Okay.
I think it'll be 3-2.
Okay, I also have it in a 3-2. I have it breaking in LAG's favor though, mainly because I think the clutch plays at the end are kind of going to go their way in the S&D. I think LAG actually end up probably winning. I think LAG actually only win the last S&D in this one, and then they win the first hardpoint because I'm interested to see like how good of a slaying team they can be. Like who's going to be the guy who always steps up on their team? Who's going to be the guy who always like makes plays? Like is it going to be apathy? Is it going to be silly? Is it be vivid? Is it like I'm just interested in the way that like LAG is going to approach respawns. Like who's going to be making the entry plays? Who's going to be making the slaying role? Who's going to be sitting in the hill? Who's going to be posted up in the back? Like I'm in like it's hard like making all these predictions without enough prior knowledge. But we do have prior knowledge of these two teams playing each other. Let it
Yeah.
be the kickoff classic. But I mean, I think this just breaks in LAG's favor because like the last match they played against each other, like I feel like, um, or like the last match, like, wait no, I was tripping on that.
No.
I meant the last time we saw both teams play. We
Yeah.
saw great things in pretty much every game mode from them. Like we saw good potential in every game mode from them. And I think it's gonna
Yep.
break to LAG 3-2, but I think they're gonna win a round 11 on map 5.
All right. Who's your like X Factor player for LOG?
I'd say apathy because I mean we saw how well he was playing at the kickoff classic. We saw he was sneaking around in that vent. I mean, if apathy is the play, like last year he was on that unfortunate situation on that Surge team. People start to kind of doubt him a little bit. They start to doubt apathy a little bit. But I mean, he's been around for a very long time. I mean, this team is like we mentioned in the past is a part of the last team that won a 4v4 COD champs, right? Like that's what that's what this team brings is that like kind of championship level of talent. They have that. They have that championship level of talent. They just kind of get thrown under the bus a little bit. They get thrown under the
Yeah.
radar. I mean, for some good reasons and some bad reasons, but I mean, they might as well come out and get this win because they're going to be and they're playing a tough match in their first match, so we'll see how much they kind of take from their phase match and how they kind of turn it around because they're essentially playing like less than 24 hours again after that match, which you won't see a lot this year.
Yeah, I think if LAG, I think that like Vivid and Silly are really going to need to step up if they want to have a chance. But I just think it'll be close. But I really do think Paris pulls it out.
Oh no, I definitely agree, and I mean,
On guard, on
on
guard.
guard. I mean, I definitely agree that Paris is gonna like surprise people and like be like a top like be a lot better than what people were thinking. Like they definitely won't be the basement team, and I just don't like somebody has to be near the bottom of the standings after a few weeks. Like no matter how good you could say they are, it's gonna come down to the matches they play, the matches they win. This is gonna be a huge match for both of these teams. I'm really excited to watch it, but the next match after that, Florida versus Toronto. I'm another good match. I'm gonna give my prediction first here. I think Florida wins in a 3-1 against Toronto. I think Toronto was impressive on their hard points, on their respawn against Rocker on the kickoff classic, but I think that Florida is just gonna come out and just prove a little bit more because I mean they kind of took a lot of heat in the past few weeks with Neptune, with the whole movement crap, and then like the start glitch thing gets brought back up again. So I mean let's see what they want to prove. I'm interested to see them play Toronto, and I think they're going to win 3-1.
You know, I I have Florida winning 3-1 as well. Skies, he did play Warzone with David Dobrik, so I think that does give him a bit of an
Uh huh.
edge. I think Methods and Bance will probably be the two best players from the Ultra side. I
Hmm.
think that they'll play well, but at this point, I think it's like we'll be like, how did Florida just win so fast? But I think Florida's really just gonna like, if I think Ultra is going to take a map, but I do think it's going to be close. But like, I mean, even if Ultra won like the first
Hmm.
map, I don't think that really like demoralizes Florida or anything because they know they're the better team. I think like I don't necessarily think Ultra is like the worst team or like better than like another team. I just think they're capable of taking a map off like this
Oh
specific
yeah.
group from Florida. But I think in the end, like Florida's just gonna pull it out. I mean, Sky's an Awakening and Slacked and Neptune. Like if you just think about like those four guys and like think about the matchups, like I just don't really see them like getting rolled or smoked or
Hmm.
anything. Like I think they're gonna be doing the smoking.
I agree. No, I see a lot of great. I see a lot of great things from this Florida team. I see a lot of good things from this Toronto team. Florida's just a little bit more proven. I think they have a lot higher. I think they have a much higher ceiling as well. Um, this, I mean, what do we see from like Awakening, right? Because like last year he jumped out on the scene. People were like accusing him of hacking. He was so good. What are we gonna see from Awakening?
Awakening POV,
Yeah.
Awakening POV.
What do you think we see like this? What do you think we see from like Awakening this weekend? You think he's the big X factor for this match, or who do you think it will be?
um, I think Skies is just gonna play
Mm-hmm.
great again. Like we've seen time and time again that Skies is like probably, I mean, he was an MVP candidate last year,
Yeah.
arguably the best main AR, and I think that he'll definitely be in the conversation for that again. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's the second best behind Crim6 right now, but I think that Awakening, like, because he's like, it's like people want to talk about like the quote unquote flex role, and
Right.
I think that people are like, oh, the XM4 is the flex gun. And I don't really think that flex this year is defined by
Mm-mm.
the gun,
No,
like
no,
how
no.
it might have been in the past. Like, if they're playing a map where like they want to pull out three subs, like Awakening is like just as capable of pulling out a sub as he is an AR, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that like what they need, like he just fills that role like perfectly, and I think that Neptune played really well, and I think he's going to continue to do that and just do it like kind of pick up like the dirty work and like the hill time, get what they need, and Slack like just having Slack like Slack's not going to want to lose this match.
Mm-mm.
He's a really good
No.
player. He's placed well like so many times. Like, I think they're just going to have a way better like mentality going into the match, and they're going to be hyped. They're going to be happy with their outcome. So I just don't really see any like holes in them right now,
Mm-hmm.
especially against a team like Toronto. If
Mm-hmm.
they're playing like a team like, if they're playing FaZe or Optic, I think it'd be very different. But against Toronto, I don't think Florida will crack. They could lose a
Mm-hmm.
map, but I don't think that means anything to them.
Right. No, I think we're both. I mean, we're both in agreement here with Florida's skill. It's the only match they play over the weekend. But a team we've already mentioned would play their second map on Saturday night. That is LA Thieves, and they're playing New York, and that would be New York's only appearance of the weekend. Yes, it's New York versus LA. It's kind of tough for New York that they got to play like an LA team who's already gonna have played one match, and like it's like the middle of the, it's like it's a weird time for like your first game. Like that's something they're
Yeah,
gonna have to kind of adjust to this year with the format. It's like you're not playing a game and then playing another game an hour later and then playing another game. Like you're not gonna play four or five matches a weekend. That's just not gonna happen. Like you're going to play like 4 or 5 matches a month unless it's a major tournament.
yeah,
Yeah, it's weird, but I mean that's just kind of the nature of everything now. But this is a singular game. You can't look at anything in the past or anything moving forward. It's New York's gonna have to come up huge if they want to cut this statement win. I don't really know how they've been playing over the past 2 weeks. Obviously, they had a lot of trouble with the retirement of Zuma, kind of figuring out where everybody was gonna fit in, if they were gonna have to call someone else to come in, if Hydra was gonna be able to play. It was all just very confusing for them. But I still don't think that they can beat the Thieves. From what I've seen from both these people,
yeah.
I think the Thieves take this in a 3-1.
I have the exact same prediction. Um, like when I was thinking about it, it's like, LA Thieves, like they're definitely better than New York, but like how much better right now,
Right.
because Diamond Con played pretty well. I
Hmm.
think that Clayster will definitely, they've been screaming a lot. I think he'll definitely step it up, even though they've just been kind of like chalking scrims, losing a little bit of full.
Hmm.
I think they can take like a respawn, but I don't think they take an S&D against LA,
Oh,
and
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
really know that they can win multiple respawns either, because I just think that LA has a little bit more slaying power.
Yeah.
I don't think like Asim. I think he's good, and I don't think Max is as good as he was last year.
Hmm.
But I do think the AR battle of like Clay and Diamond Con versus Slasher and Kenny is like the biggest part of like this match. It's like who can be better and like gun these guys,
Hmm.
because I do think like Temp and Tej, like I do think they'll kind of smoke
Right.
Asim and Max,
I
but if Clay and Diamond Con can step it up, that'd be game changing. But that'll just we'll have to
Yeah.
see
No.
what
It's
happens. But
uh,
I'm going LA
yeah.
3-1.
Me too. I mean, another match where the maps are really gonna dictate kind of how you feel about the game. Like, I wonder what maps they're gonna play. Are they gonna play like something that's more AR heavy and then kind of work off of Clayster and Diamond Con, like play a checkmate kind of thing? Where are they gonna go on the search? Are they gonna go for something like one thing I'm worried about. I'm kind of wondering about with search. Like, are there gonna be snipes? Probably not,
As right
right?
now, no,
Like,
because they claim they're like working on fixing smokes, but like right now they have not.
gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, I would like to see snipers back in competitive Call of Duty, but like, not if they're gonna be as bad as they really have been. Like, if you have no
Yeah,
smokes either, it's literally just like you get a good sniper on your team, they have something locked down. Like it's kind of ridiculous with the way that it was going, but I mean, we're still gonna have some fun S&D, I think, and I think we're really gonna have some fun S&D in this game. But uh,
yeah,
another match that we got to move on to is the first match of Sunday. It's the London Royal Ravens versus the Seattle Surge. Is Parasite playing? I'm just gonna jump on it. Is
yes, I
Parasite
believe
playing?
so.
Like, yeah, we can think about everything else, but is Parasite gonna play? He's been
Yeah,
quiet. Like he's in North
no,
Carolina.
I'm pretty sure he is,
Hmm. He,
because Zero's still in the UK, and they're all going to be playing together in North Carolina.
yeah, he's in North Carolina. He's he's playing like it's very obvious like that he's going to be playing for them. It's just like he hasn't been able to say anything. It's just not official with all the money and everything yet. But if Parasite plays, I might just have to throw my support behind London here. What are you thinking?
So I got 3-1
Mm-hmm.
London. Like I want to have faith in the Surge. I'm a huge Looney and Pristine and Octane fan. I love Gunless. I'm honestly a fan of all those guys, but like I don't know, man. I think
Yeah.
that Haggy might give them a bit of an edge. I think Zero
Maybe.
didn't even play bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I just think that like they're all going to be playing from the same place. I don't even know that Seattle's all in the same place, and
Right.
like I think that like London, like you know, I think Shawnee will have to really step, or not Sean, Dylan. I think Dylan's really gonna have to step up, like, and that as like, because like everyone always talks about, oh, like BO4 Dylan, like he was so good at that game, and I do believe he can return to that like top SMG form,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's kind of what like the biggest thing is, because Shawnee played pretty well with an AR. Obviously we're gonna have Parasite using an AR,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like Octane and Gunless using ARs, like versus Shawnee and Parasite, like Octane, like maybe he could shine, but like I just don't know that
Mm-hmm.
and I hope Alex steps out. I just think it's gonna be London 3-1. Like
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in the Surge right now. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if that's like they need to make a roster change or like what's really gonna like help them get better. But yeah, London 3-1.
Yeah, and I know I said like, yeah, I might have to throw my support behind London if Parasite's there, but I am riding with the Surge on this one. I'm riding with the Surge in a 3-2 because I, I I don't want to count them out again. Like I don't want to count the Surge out again. I don't want to count out any of these players. Gunless, Octane, like Pristini, Looney. Like that's a squad. That's like that should
Yeah,
be a team that we're thinking of that we're talking about like with the Minnesotas and the LA Thieves. Like it's not a team that we
yeah,
should be talking about like near the bottom of the standings maybe because that's honestly where they could end up if. And this is gonna be such a huge match for them because like London is a team that they might be able to beat because especially if Parasite's playing, it's like a week or two of practice with Parasite. Maybe like you should be the team that's been. I mean, this is a team that's been decided. Like they've been playing together since the game came out. Like they
yeah.
should have like
Well, they
well
actually like they didn't when the game came out. They didn't even start scrimming for like a while.
like
That had me really worried.
like
Like I,
they
yeah,
know
they were like
who they're playing
Amy,
with though.
like wasn't hopping on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah. I mean, they've been playing together, but like I just think they have like a lot of things to work out right now.
Mm-hmm. They do have a lot to work out, but I think we could see. I think maybe we can see some of the work kind of come to fruition here.
Yeah.
I think we'll see them. I think we'll see them kind of come back and play pretty well. I'm gonna
I
take
mean,
them in a 3-2. Seattle.
honestly, Seattle, I think what could really help them, and I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I think like moving Gunless to a sub and Pristini to an AR, like I mean, we saw at times last
Mm-hmm.
year, like when Pristini had like free reign with the AR, like that like Hackney yard Dom when he dropped
Yeah.
like the 15 kill streak, like we just saw him like smoke like Ford, Florida, and like they like we saw him like play really well when they were just like let him loose and we're like go just run around with an AR like just slay, and I think that would make him more efficient. And I think like gunless with and the 74U is like very good. Like
Yeah.
I do believe it's the best gun in the game still. It's got like insane range and accuracy. So I think that like if you gave gunless a sub like and just kind of told him to just go slay out,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would benefit their team a lot. But I don't know that that's like the direction they're gonna go,
Right.
because they're gonna be like, oh, like gunless is like our flex player, like AR, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think London kind of has their like roles just down. Like Parasite, they picked up like another AR like in Parasite 'cause that's what they needed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just essentially just swapping out Zero for Hagi and not really changing much else.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be a great match though, no matter what we see. I'm just super excited to probably see Parasite play in the league again. But let's talk about Dallas versus Minnesota, which is the next match on Sunday. It's hard. I mean, I don't want to do it to Rocker, but I think I'm gonna go with the 3-0 from Dallas here, only because I think Dallas is just like I think they're gonna be running through a lot of teams this year. I just think that's how it's gonna be. They're gonna be running through like the a lot of teams kind of in the middle. Like it's no disrespect to Rocker. I think it'll be a pretty as close as a 3-0 can get because like there are 3-0s where it was like a 250 to 220 hard point, a 6-4 6-5 S&D, and then like a 3-2 control. Like it's still a 3-0, but it was close, right? I think that's kind of what we're gonna see here. I think we're gonna see Dallas pull up and play the sound Call of Duty that they've been playing for years. That Crim Six has always brought that to teams. I mean, unless they all just seem to get along. They all just seem to be vibing together. I mean, Illy and Shotzi and Hook, they work so hard. They grind so
Yeah.
hard. They're not just naturally
I mean,
gifted people.
Illy
They
had
are, but yeah.
3.7K hours on Modern Warfare. I
hmm
was like, what the
they play
fuck? Like,
it like
how could you
they'll
play that game that
nine,
much?
10 hours a day, every day, all week, 24, like
Dude, I remember when they
365 days
talked
a
about
year.
the LAN last year, like they're like one of the home series, like they said like Illy set up like a PS4 in like the hotel and like literally stayed up like all night shooting bots, like
Yeah.
because he did not stop thinking
hmm
about COD.
I mean, he's not. I mean, they're not the only players who play that much. Probably, I'm sure everybody plays almost nearly as much as they do. But like, they really
Like we're
are
for
like
MVP.
they're really dedicated. Like, I think Dallas is just so dedicated to winning this next championship. I think we can get into it in a second, but I think they will win this stage one too. I think they will. But this is just going to be another notch in their belt. You know, I think it'd be huge for them. It'd be a huge statement to be 6-0 on map count going after the first weekend. I'm a big fan of Dallas here, but you seemed a little irked when I said it was a 3-0. What's your
Yeah,
prediction?
so this may be like a curveball, but I think it's going game five. I still got
Hmm.
Dallas. I still got Dallas, but I think that like Minnesota is definitely going to give them a run for their money. I think that, they're like a good team,
Hmm.
but I just don't really know that they can like fully pull it off. But I do think they can take maps off them because like they're like Empire, they smoked New York, but like I do not think like Minnesota is like anywhere near New York. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
think that they're like way ahead. I think that like they may like it'll be really interesting, and I think that like Minnesota could pick up like an S&D or like maybe like a hard point or maybe a control. I mean, Minnesota looked really good on control. Lamar and Major looked like very good.
Hmm.
So we'll have to see how it plays out. Like if it's a raid control, like they both like 3 out on raid control, I'm pretty
I
sure.
believe so. Yeah.
So, I hope it's raid control because that'd be probably like one of the best maps we see all weekend.
Hmm.
But this is definitely one of the ones I'm more excited
Me
for
too.
because it's like I want to see like Empire like not be immortal.
Oh
I want
yeah.
to see some run for their
Hmm.
money, and I think that like this, I don't think it's really going to be the Surge. I think it'll be the Rocker.
Hmm. And yeah, I know. I mean, I've been talking Dallas up so much. I've been saying like they're the most fundamentally sound team. They might have the most skill. Like I can say all these things about Dallas, but like at the end of the day, it is online Call of Duty. Anything can go
Yeah,
anyway. That's really what it is. It's online Call of Duty, which honestly like sucks for the most part. That's why these guys get the best internet. They're all, that's why they're trying to pool them all together in one location. They're just trying to make it work. But this this is an interesting weekend, but it's going to be capped off by the match. I think everybody, if you could just make a match and just be able to watch it, just pick any two teams and be able to watch it. I think it's this match. I think it's FaZe versus Chicago. It, it's gonna be great.
yeah. I mean, obviously, like any Call of Duty fan, it's like you can think of like you have like Envy and Optic, but like, it's like Optic FaZe. Like, that's like the biggest fan bases. That's always been like the biggest rivalry at like every event. Literally since like BO2, like the earliest days I've been watching, like the highest like viewership we've always gotten was
Hmm.
during like Optic and FaZe. And like I think that they both have really good teams, but I do think obviously it's like I think it's going game five because
Hmm.
it's like the marquee match, but I really think that that Optic pulls it out 3-2. I think that like I just think they have a bit of an edge with their slaying. Like as good as FaZe is, like I just have a lot more faith in like Optic's Gunny right now. Texas Formal,
Yeah.
like they're gonna be like FaZe is all in Atlanta, so
It it will be tricky.
Texas
It
baby.
will be tricky. I do love that Tex. I do love the idea of that, like the Texas host, the Texas formal teams running through everybody, and I think it's gonna.
Follow at Texas Formal on Twitter.
I love those Twitter accounts. Just they're so funny. They're in every tweet. I don't know how they have that much
Like
time on
like
the day,
like
but
Looney's
boy,
snapback,
formals dip.
and it's like you've never seen Looney without a hat on. I'm like, true.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, Formals. Shout out Formals did, bro. He followed me.
That's the OG. He's been around for a long time. But I mean, this match, I'm gonna go with Chicago too. But I'm gonna go with 3-1. I like predicting game fives. I love game fives, but I just feel like Optic Chicago is just gonna win the hard point. maybe drop the S&D and just win the control and win the hard point. Just like be dominant on those respawns because that's what I
Yeah.
want to see. I think the respawns are going to be crazy close, but I just want to see Chicago kind of pull it out, just kind of make the one right play, make the one right rotation, get the
Yeah.
last kill in a three-piece that just changes the game. I think Chicago has so many players like that. Like Optic has so many players
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, and it's like if we want to rank like the best players, like I mean, from what we've seen so far, like Dashy and Envoy, like just look like
hmm
two of
They
like
have
the two best
the team.
players,
The team has four MVP candidates. Like if you
Yeah,
think
I mean,
about it.
I like Scump, dude. Like I don't know, man. We haven't seen a Scump this good for a while.
hmm
I don't think
Until like
so.
yeah,
I'm really excited.
until like the end of NW, he was kind of coming back into like his old
Yeah, like a
form,
little bit.
and like obviously like we've seen amazing performances from Scump in the past. Like if he can put that out consistently over the entire season, they're playing a little bit less matches at first. Maybe he has more.
Yeah,
There's not going to be that kind of like burnout as much. I feel like he'll just come up and he'll show up and Chicago's just going to come away with this 3-1. I think it'd be a huge statement for them as well. Obviously, that kickoff classic
yeah,
win, that was a huge statement, the 3-0 over LA, but this would be like legit because this counts. This isn't just a show match. This counts. So,
yeah,
this would be a huge statement win for them and I think that they're going to end up taking it. So, yeah, I think that's how this first weekend goes. Those are all the matches that we
yeah.
it took a lot. It was 10 matches we had to talk about. We got 10. So I think every like week, no, it's gonna be 3 weeks of league matches leading up to one major. Correct? That's the
Yeah.
format. So
Then a 2 week break.
so I mean
So
so yeah. So we're gonna have nonstop COD for 3 straight weekends. That's gonna be 12 days of COD out of the next 20. 12 days out of the next 20
that's
days you're gonna be able to
that
watch some
is
COD
incredible.
after a whole like half year of not being able to watch any.
Yeah, it's been since like August.
hmm
Holy shit.
Late August was like it'll be like 5 months,
Like August
something like that.
19th or
Yeah,
something, man. Oh
it's
my
something like
god.
that. It's rough, but I mean, we're here. We finally get to watch some
Hey,
more
we're back.
COD. It,
We're
it
back.
feels great, and we get to go grind league play. I might have to go shoot some bots. Like,
Yeah, after this, I'm gonna hit the bathroom. I gotta use my crutches to get there.
hmm
I'm gonna get in bed. I'm gonna turn my Xbox on. I'm immediately gonna make my classes, hit the bots, look at the league play restrictions, make sure I perfectly replicate my
hmm
classes. Figure out what camos I'm gonna fry with. I'm thinking for my ARs. I might be using multiplayer diamond
mm,
because I love the way a diamond
it
looks.
does look good.
But I don't know if I should use the anime bullet 74U or not. I'm still I'm
Mm,
still I'm still
I
deciding. I
don't
might
know.
though. I might have
You
to. I
might
might
have
have
to. Hey,
to.
you pay for it, you might as well use it.
Yeah,
That's all I
facts,
gotta say.
facts. It
Those
was kind of
those
expensive,
tracer
so
packs look nice. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be running that cherry blossom. If I can't lie. Like just the idea of
just like Karma, baby.
running around on league
Karma
play
BO2.
with the raid hard point, making plays. All we need is standoff, and then I might just like. I mean, this game has its own flaws. We talked about them, but like if they put standoff in this game, like
Hey,
I would kind of
regard.
feel like some.
You,
I'm a slave to nostalgia. That's really what it
you know
is.
what? My closing statement is, people have complained about the game, and I do think that there's many things that make the game fucking dog shit, like tac rifles, LMGs, C4, proximity mines. Okay, now we're gonna have like 1911s and AK-47s and snipers and smokes in league play,
hmm
but at least we don't have a DMR or a
Amen.
stoner or shotguns
Amen.
or launchers. So I'm honestly really excited.
Me too. We're gonna have. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I think everything kind of takes off from here. We got a little bored of it. I got a little bored of COD in the January. I can't lie. I got a little bored of playing it after a month or so. But now I'm kind of feeling it again. I'm feeling like everything's gonna kind of go back up. COD's having a moment again. So.
Team
hmm
skins, league play, home series on the way.
hmm
It's perfect timing for a COD
Yep.
fan.
And we're
What a time! What a
And we're
time
just gonna we're gonna
to be alive.
yeah we're gonna be ramping up this content as the CDL starts too. We got some ideas
Yeah,
for some supplemental shows and things like that. Maybe some live streams too.
community tournaments. We're gonna pawn our TV for the prize
Yep.
money.
I'm gonna pawn my other monitor. Well, I only need one. Who needs two monitors? You can only
Yeah,
who needs two
you just need the
monitors?
game.
It's true. We're gonna do that. We got a lot of great stuff to look forward to. Thank you for joining us this week, and we'll be back next week. Thank you.